Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm here to do a show, not really rehearsed, not sure what I'm going to talk about, but it's going to be one of those things where I feel we need to have a better understanding of each other. I've had to learn the hard way not to be so angry at people, but to teach them how to love one another. By first of all, loving ourselves. We can sit on the pity pot all day long and say, "Oh, poor it's me. I'm never gonna get any better. I just might as well give up." Then give up. Or you can do it all right. You can bring yourself up. You can reach the top of the ladder. But remember, you can always be the winner. And always look around you because there could be someone less fortunate than you are. There could be someone around you who has a lot more tragedy in their lives. I have two friends, Allison and Dave, who have been battling one day with MS and Allison with cancer. And they look awesome. Dave is working out, he's walking around, and Allison is beating cancer with a chemo. Is that your phone? Oh, okay. With chemo treatments, and she looked really well. I will, being on top and being happy and being okay, it's not an easy battle. It's an everyday lesson. But that lesson we can teach to other people with a smile, maybe a cup of coffee, maybe shaking someone's hand and say, "How are you?" And the most important thing of all that I want you all to remember, like myself being allowed to do this non-psychic world, is that we have the freedom to do this because of our forefathers putting it into the freedom into the amendment. But yet, the people in the military, the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, the Navy, and the Merchant Marines, and all of the men and women. We cannot keep forgetting the women. I see nothing about women, and it upsets me on Facebook. These are truly our heroes. Oh yeah, we must not forget about the policemen and the firemen. There is so much disrespect towards the policemen. Then a lot of times they're at fault too. I've often said that I trust a criminal more than I do a policeman. But I'll tell you what, Manchester, New Hampshire has the best fire department in the world as far as I'm concerned. My son was woken up at 3:30 in the morning to a fire next to his house. Luckily, no lives were taken, and his house was saved. We 3 years ago or 4 years ago had an explosion on October 31st with that blizzard. The firemen were fantastic. They saved our not only saved our houses, but they saved every one of us, waking us up early. I didn't like getting woke up, but boy, it was pretty cold out there. And the thing that I noticed, and I will always remember, it's the people who live next door to me opened their doors so we could come in and keep warm through the blizzard. That's what love and friendship is all about. Caring for us, making sure we had coffee, making sure we were warm. Then we went to the Upper Senior Citizen Center, uh, about a half a block from us. The Red Cross finally came and let us know that they were not going to help us. And I looked at her and I said, "Don't worry, sweetheart. I don't need your help." I kind of went back into my own apartment after everybody had gone. And for 3.5 weeks, we lived without heat and lights, but we survived. This is what we're doing here in America. We're surviving. Isn't it time now that we start not surviving but thriving? Isn't it time for us to take care of ourselves? Isn't it time for us to say, let me help you, brother or sister? And then the sad part is, as long as we have the politicians that we have today, you cannot blame all on Obama. You cannot blame it all on Hillary Clinton. You have to also face facts. The Senate and the House of Representatives, of Congress, they are just as responsible for this as the others are because we allowed it to happen. We, as people who voted for these people to be in office, same way with your local municipality, we vote them in. We complain, we complain, we complain, but we still vote them in. So we're just as guilty. You have taken the true spirit of God, if you want to call him God, I call it the spirit, the universal spirit, has been taken out of the equation. Isn't it time to bring him back? Isn't it time to say enough is enough? How can we help our brethren? How can we help our sisters and brothers instead of condemning and saying, oh no, your religion's not as good as mine, or your God is different than mine. They're all the same spirit. They're all the same spirit. All one big universe. Look around you and tell me what you see. You know, there's a thing I like to call that spiritual well. The spiritual well has a never ending top or bottom. However, there are stairs that you slowly walk up them stairs. The water is flowing down over the stairs. There's a long vine that holds down. And as you start to slowly walk up that spiritual level, remember this. You can go as high as you want, or you can go as low as you want. As you're climbing up that ladder, you're going to slip, but you cannot allow yourself to hold that there. You're going to make a mistake, but just learn from it because there's no such thing as failure. Many a times I have thrown in the towel, but then I'd say, where am I going? What am I going to do? Then I would start climbing that spiritual ladder. Very dear friend of mine, I'm going to call her Lori. She had the HIV virus. She was my guardian angel. When I would sit here on her steps feeling sorry for myself because I walked off a job and gave up everything to have what I had today, she looked at me and says, who the hell do you think you are sitting there feeling sorry for yourself? I don't know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I started eating at the shelter, meeting people whom I thought I was better than they were. But you know what? They were actually better than me. That's what you all can be. You can all be as good as each other. You can be you can be homeless. You can be an alcoholic. You can be whatever you want to be. That's your choice. But you can also bring it back out. And you no matter what, whether you're on the bottom of the pit or on the top of the pit, you are still someone. You are still somebody. You agree, Scott?
Yeah, definitely.
You are still somebody, and it's up to you to improve your life. I think about my past once in a while and say, oh my God, I cannot believe I am where I am today. I'm always afraid I'm going to wake up and the bubble's going to burst. You know what? I keep growing spiritually. I'm not going to tell you I'm the best in the world. I'm not going to tell you I'm the best spiritual leader in the world. But I am learning how to be a spiritual leader. I'm learning how to be a teacher because every one of you teach me as well. There are many lessons in life that we learn. As long as you don't dwell on them, we can make it a growing life. You know that song, I Never Promised You a Rose Garden? I don't believe the Spirit ever did either. What he what the Spirit is doing is saying, I will be with you. I will help you grow. And as you look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, today I am a winner. Can you tell me how long I've been on here?
10 minutes. About 10 minutes.
Today I am a winner. But there's no losers, only if you want to be. I'm allowing my spirit to speak for me. I had gone under hypnosis and I tried many things but cigarette smoking, and it didn't work. I went into hypnosis one time on an old show I had, didn't work. But I went into a pathwise regression instead. Then, 3 years ago, I went into hypnosis with my former co-host, Matt Connerton, hosting it. And he put me under he put me under hypnosis. And you know what? It works because I was ready and had enough of cigarette smoking. I have not had a cigarette in 3 years, nor do I desire to have one. My roommate Scott has been 3 years without a cigarette. And I want to thank Matt Connerton of IPMNation.com. If you check on his website or whatever. By the way, folks, he doesn't even know I'm saying this. Okay? So that's the cool part. But I'm going to tell you, if you really want to give up your drinking, if you really want to give up your heroin, there is help out there. I have another question for each and every one of you, and I want you to think about it. What's going to happen when all these politicians get elected and with this heroin epidemic? I'm willing to bet that it's going to fade away because there's no more politicians fighting to build up more drug houses. I believe the news media and the politicians are pushing this. Oh, look at, we got to help this heroin addict. Oh, we got to build another house. They're not going to stop until they want to. They can go into one house into another. And I'm not saying that it's wrong to have these houses. I'm not saying that heroin isn't a horrendous. It is. It's a horrendous addiction. But the the pharmaceutical companies, the politicians, the police, the doctors, and everybody else all have blown it so out of proportion that it that it is there. So everybody feels that they can go out, oh, well, if I do this drug or that drug, then I'll get healed. Or I'll go to the rehab center and they'll take care of it for me. What if you don't have insurance? What if you make too much money to qualify for state aid? And yet you don't make enough money to have the Obamacare or some kind of state help to pay for that addiction. Are you going to be able to get in? It's another rehab center. Or they're labeling it the heroin drug rehab. So they can drain more money from the tax dollars. And believe me, I'm all in favor of helping these people. I really am. If they really want our help. But I'm not in favor of building up all these centers and fattening the people who own the buildings' pockets. I'm not in favor of draining the taxpayers' dollars. And actually, I'm not in any insurance companies because the insurance companies have to be paying out. So that means you and I, as citizens, are going to have to pay more money for the premium to have insurance. There is help out there. My beautiful friend Lori was a heroin coke addict, and you know what, folks? She got cured because she wanted. Unfortunately, she did it on her own. I'm not saying not to go get help. What I am saying, let's find out why they are hiding in the drug addict state of mind. Okay, is it a challenge? Are they hiding from themselves, or is it because John Paul does heroin, but what's the next drug? What's the next one? They've done paint, airplane glue, LSD. Well, she's happy. My dog is soaring, folks. LSD, you name it, they've done it. Now you can't even get bath salt in the supermarkets anymore because people take and use the salt, I guess, or whatever in there to get high with. So everything that we do, it's going to be doing that. Methadone clinics, methylsynthetic heroin. Let's start healing people before it's too late. Let's try to get them before it's too late. The younger children are becoming more and more addicted to it. I've seen young kids running back and forth, making pickups to go and deliver to other people. Do you really think that your politicians care? Do you really think that the drug counselors care? It's a job. Sure, you're giving more jobs to the counselors and administration, but I'm willing to bet that if you don't have insurance and you don't qualify for the state help or federal help, that you're not going to get it. When I was drinking, I've been sober now 20 years, but when I was drinking and I wanted help because I didn't have the right insurance, I made too much money for one place. Then I went to this other place. They were willing to take me in, but I would have to sign a paper saying that they could get food, what they call food stamps for me to help pay the way to pay for the food. Plus, I was buying, I was paying my way with insurance on this one company. It's not about they care for you. It really isn't. It's about the dollars. These problems are going to get worse and worse before they get better. This country needs to hit rock bottom before it can build back up. You're going to see more and more forest fires. You're going to see more tornadoes, more hurricanes in the next 3 to 4 years. You're going to see more droughts in some areas. You're going a lot of villages, a lot of towns, a lot of cities are going to be destroyed. And it's happening, as I said on my website, which is spiritualvisionary.net. You're going to see more and more of these people losing homes, losing jobs, because everything is becoming computerized. McDonald's is now going to be using a new kind of ordering device because the people, the employees at McDonald's were complaining about only getting $15 an hour. So the credit cash is how you pronounce it, that you order and then it probably will come to you. They're going to have all these machines that will be bringing up the food to you, and you pay with either a credit card or whatever. Because people in America has become greedy, greedy, greedy. Should they make more money than the nurse? Should they, the fast food service workers, should they make more money than the nurse or someone who works in a factory? Do I think they should make a living? Yes. Do I think they should make around $10 an hour? Absolutely. New Hampshire apparently doesn't think so because theirs is $7.75 an hour, and that's the minimum wage law. And every time they try to bring it up, oh no, we can't do that. We're not going to give you the price of an upscale in hourly ratings. So two people have to work. Maybe with the two of you, you might earn $20 an hour. But then you've got the boys club, boys and girls club, you got the YMCA, that all costs money. And you got parents who care, but yet they can't be with their children because they're working to pay for a babysitter, folks. The money is not working on a job. The money's in babysitting at that child care center. That's where the money is. Per child. Over $200 per child a week. Women who want to work with their husbands or their boyfriends so that they can make a decent living, they have to pay it out into child support. And then you have the people who don't want to work, who live on a state welfare benefit. They still go to the daycare centers. They still go to the Boys and Girls Club or the YMCA and they have a cafe for kids so that their mother doesn't have to be bothered with taking care of them. And this is all tax dollars. Folks, get real. Get real. Change your people that are in Congress. Change the people that are in the Senate. Change the people that are president. Do I feel that Donald Trump's a better person? Yeah. Am I scared of him? Yeah. But I believe that if we kept Hillary Clinton, it would stay the same and no improvement coming. Do I think that the illegal immigrants should have more rights than we have? Absolutely not. And you know the sad part is, folks, no one in this country should be without medical care. I'm going to repeat that. No one in this country should be without medical care. That there should be no homeless people. The children should not be hungry, but because of the do-gooders, we send it all overseas to Africa, to Iran. And I'm not saying we should help them, but let's take care of our own first. Because I'm going to tell you now, folks, in the next 5 years, you're going to see a lot more devastation. Education is going phooey. Kids don't want to go to school today. I have a beautiful granddaughter. She goes to school, but she doesn't want to. we are so concerned about all these other countries that we forget our own country. We forget what the armed forces people who have served in the armed forces, who have served, so many of them gave their lives. Some of them are disabled. Some are homeless. They served so that we could have a better life. And what are we doing? Because we're allowing Obama and the crew there to do whatever they want with it while they're laughing at us, while they think it's funny. Uh-huh. Look at this. These American people are so gullible. And we are. Isn't it time to fight back? Isn't it time to fight back? Isn't it time to have the Ace of Clubs, the Spaceman, I'm sorry, which is time for me when I see the Ace of Clubs to let the old USA pass over and a whole new brightness of the USA coming into play. If you read Nostradamus and the Revelations, and it says, man shall destroy themselves, and our country will be covered with insects and locusts. Check it out. But on the bright side, folks, I believe in America. I believe that things are going to get better. I believe that when we all start learning how to love each other, we're going to have a big uprising for the gloriness, for the love and the healing of each other. I believe that we're going to be able to say, hi, how are you? I believe that this country is going to be powerful once again. But it all starts from within our hearts and making friends with each other. It all starts by getting rid of the anger. It all starts by getting rid of the sick feelings that we have and the dread. It starts with loving each other. By saying, hi, how are you? Or listening to each other. I think that's the most important thing. Listening to each other is a very, very important thing. Stop bombing each other. Stop making people feel that their lives are threatened. Just start loving each other. Very simple. It's a 4-letter word that can be very easy used. But it has to start from you loving yourself and being a winner every day. And remember, folks, let's make this country and ourselves the winner. Thank you for listening to me.